Hello everyone. Welcome to your next video. This one is on third conjugation verbs. Now we did this last year in Latin 1, so this is a review. So make sure you take good notes and come armed with any questions you might have tomorrow. So, third conjugation verbs form differently than first and second conjugation verbs. And then because of that, we have to learn a new process for how to form the third conjugation. First and second conjugations form in a very similar way to each other. Third forms in a different way. So we are going to learn how to form the present active indicative, present active imperative, present active infinitive for third conjugation verbs. And then we're going to also learn the imperfect and the future active indicative, both of these tenses also forming off of the present stem. Okay. All right, so what do you need to know about third conjugation verbs? You need to know that all third conjugation verbs have an ERE ending in their second principal part. Now notice that this penultimate E here does not have a macron. If it were to have a macron, like this one, that would be a second conjugation verb. So it is very important that you note whether the second principal part has a macron or does not have a macron in its penultimate E. Okay, so this is a very important macron here. Now, one of the main differences between how you form the first and second conjugation and how you form the third conjugation is how you get the present stem. For third conjugation verbs, you form the present stem by removing the entire ERE from the second principal part. That means that your present stem for the third conjugation verbs do not end in a vowel like they do for first conjugation and second conjugation. So when you are conjugating, you are going to have to add the vowel to let us know, let us know whether the word is in the present tense. The vowels you add for that are I and you, I or you, I should say, or in the future tense. So the vowels that you add are E or A. Now, and this is very important, third conjugation verbs never form their future using bo, bis, bit, bimus, bitus, bund. Never, 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 never. You only use bo, bis, bit if your verb is a first conjugation or a second conjugation, never a third. Okay? All right, so how do we conjugate third conjugation verbs? Remember that the first person singular present active indicative is always the first principal part, okay? So whatever that first principal part is, that is this first box. After that, we're going to need the present stem, right, for every single form. And then we're going to add that I to show that we're in the present tense. And then we add the personal endings. Now, the personal endings are exactly what you expect them to be from the first two conjugations. It's s, t, must, tis, nt, okay? The only thing you need to look out for is that here in the present active indicative, the third person plural does not have an I before the personal ending nt, it has a u, okay? So, is, it, imus, itus, unt, okay? The present active imperative forms in the singular by adding an E, a short E, to the present stem. It forms the plural by adding an ITE to the present stem. And notice that the vowel changes for whatever reason. Instead of it being ET, it's ITE, so take special note of that. Okay. Present active infinitive, as always, is the second principal part. Now, imperfect active indicative, super easy, okay, because we're using those same imperfect endings that you're used to. So, you need the present stem. Remember, your present stem does not end in a vowel, so you need to provide a vowel, in this case, a long E, and then you add the bom, bos, bot, bomus, botus, bom. Easy peasy. For the future, you're going to get your present stem, and this time, to show that you're in the future, you're going to use a different vowel. So instead of using the I, sometimes the U, you're going to use the E, sometimes the A. So first person singular is your present stem plus a plus m. And then for second and third singular, for second and third plural, you're going to need your E to show you're in the future. And then you just add those personal endings, right? st, must, has, nt. So the future for the third conjugation verbs are ace, et, amus, atus, ent. So let's look at an example, okay, a paradigm of how the third conjugation works. We have the four principal parts of ago, agere, agi, actum. We know we're going to need these first two principal parts, right? This one's going to be the first person singular present active indicative, because that's always the first principal part. And then we're going to need this agere to get our present stem, right? We remove the entire ere from this second principal part, and that gives us the present stem ag. So ago, first person singular, first principal part. Then we get our present stem ag, to which we add the I, right? And then we add the personal endings st, must, tis. Before the third person plural, we need to add a u instead of an I, but then we add our nt. So ago, agis, agit, agimus, agitus, agunt. Okay, and this word translates as to do. Okay. Present active imperative, we need our present stem plus the short e or the ite. So age, if you're commanding one person to do something. Agita, if you're commanding more than one person to do something. And then our present active infinitive is the second principal part. So there it is, second principal part, down here. Agere, meaning to do. For the imperfect, again, we need our present stem ag. We need to add the long e that connects the stem to the ending, and then we just use the regular old imperfect endings. So agebam, agebas, agebat, agebamus, agebatus, agebant. And this will translate as I was doing, I used to do, anything like that. And again, notice that we are not using bo, bis, bit to show the future of this verb because it's a third conjugation verb. We simply change the vowel that we're using from an I, sometimes U, to an E, sometimes A, to show that we are in the future tense. So, ago, first person singular present active indicative. Agam, first person singular future active indicative. Agis, right? You do, to agace, you will do. So future, agam, agace, aget, agamus, agatus, agent. All right, ladies, that's it. That is the third conjugation. Please come to class tomorrow, ready to ask any questions that you might have, and I look forward to seeing you then. Have a good night.